Okay, I think I'm live. All right. I guess we're just gonna do it. Okay, this is crazy. This is my first live. So everyone, welcome. I just thought we could knit and chat. Um, I was planning to like sit and have a little cozy knitting day anyway. So I thought, why not just do it on the live? And if no one shows up, then it's just a fun time of me just knitting along. So I am wearing my sweater number 14 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I did this as a buddy knit with my friend Kayla over at Chromatic Creations. And I have two projects next to me that I could work on right now. The first one is it's called the Onet shawl or the Onet scarf by, I want to say, Fairmount Fiber Co. And I'm almost done with all of the increases. I am knitting this up as a sample for Rochelle over at Queen's Yarn Boutique. I still have not tucked in the ends of the sweater, so just ignore that. But yeah, I'm knitting this as a sample for Miss Rochelle over at Queen's Yarn Boutique. The yarn has been absolutely a pleasure to work with. I'm absolutely loving it so far. And just, I honestly want to buy like some yarn from her to make some stuff in some other colors. But yeah, it's so lovely. And the second project that I have is going to be a cardigan. It's going to be called the Capsule Cardigan. And I'm knitting this up in Double Sunday by Sandiscarn, as well as a yarn by Yarn Citizen. It's like a cashmere blend, and I'm like, double stranding it just because the swatch that I made with the Double Sunday alone, even though it's considered worsted weight, just wasn't meeting gauge. It was just a little bit off. So I added the other yarn just to get it to meet gauge. I do think that this will be an easier project to work on because I have a right side and a wrong side, and that way like I'll be able to remember where my increases are. But on this one, even though there's technically like an increase row and then like a plain just like knit row, it's kind of hard to keep track of what row I'm on, especially if I'm going to be chatting. It might be a little bit difficult to remember which row I'm on. However, these both do have deadlines, kind of. Like this one doesn't really have like a set deadline, although I've had this yarn for a while since Rochelle sent it to me and definitely need to get it done as soon as possible and send it out to her. And then this one is due in June, but I just started it. So, and it's mid-April right now. So I still have plenty of time to work on this one. So since this one is the one I really need to get done, we're gonna work on this one first. And next to me, I have my phone with just like some questions to talk about in the case that nobody shows up to this live, which is okay. That's gonna be okay. But just things for me to keep on track and talk about. I just like pulled up a little Q&A questions list, just trying to find something to talk about. If you are here watching live or in the future, just leave a little comment of what you're working on while you're watching this. I'm really feeling low inspiration for spring right now, and I don't know if it's because a lot of the projects that I've been doing have deadlines or if once the weather just gets warmer, I'm just not in the mood to knit anymore. I'm not exactly sure. I've had crochet on my brain a lot, and I've also had sewing on my brain because I did just get a sewing machine for my birthday. I've never sewed anything before. Also, sorry, I have my metal needles and they're so like scratchy. I hate the sound, but I took off the wooden needles to use them for something else and I forgot to put them back on. So it's gonna be a little bit scratchy. So yeah, I have been thinking a lot about sewing and crocheting and doing other types of fiber things, not necessarily just knitting, because I'm not a person who loves knitting with cotton or even crocheting with cotton. I'm a wool girl. So the thought of knitting and crocheting with cotton and other fibers that are not wool kind of stress me out a little bit. But at the same time, I also I tend to dress a little bit like more modest too, even in the warmer weather. I wouldn't say I'm like extremely modest by any means, but I definitely lean towards pants and long sleeves. And even when it's warm, like I don't love tank tops. I mean, I wear them sometimes, but like it's not like my go-to. So also all of the spring and summer garments tend to be short sleeve, tend to be tank tops, stuff like that. I'm gonna check and see that my live is live. It says that I'm live. Okay, cool. Um, so yeah, that's just why I've lost a lot of motivation, I would say, for spring and summer knitting. I wish I had my other project next to me, but I am going to be releasing a project vlog soon of the felted crossbody bag by Safi McNamara that I test knit. I'm just waiting for like a clip and a zipper to come in the mail so that we can finish that up. And then that vlog should go up soon. I quite honestly wanted that vlog to go up sooner, but once I finished the bag, I tried to go to Michael's, and at Michael's, they didn't have any zippers that fit the bag, and same thing with Joanne. So I just decided to order it, and now we're just waiting for Amazon to knock on our door. So yeah, and then I also am in the middle of doing a vlog this week, which has been fun. Today's Tuesday, of course. If you're watching live, then you would know. But it's Tuesday, and I just started the vlog like yesterday, so it's been good so far. It's been good. So I'm gonna start with just like some questions. And one of the questions standing out to me is like, do you listen to any podcasts? And I feel like I just forgot to increase. And that is why I didn't think that this project would be a good one to work on right now. And I do listen to podcasts off and on. The one podcast that I listened to pretty consistently is Crime Junkie. If you've been to my channel before, then you definitely know that I am a true crime girl. Like, I love any true crime documentaries, podcasts, books, like anything that has to do with true crime. And usually, what happens is the only streaming service that I have is Netflix. I guess I technically have Apple TV, but mostly Netflix is like what I watch. And so, anytime that they say on Netflix that they're about to release a true crime documentary, I watch it like immediately. And then I have nothing to watch until the next true crime documentary comes out. So I listen to Crime Junkie. I also like The Law of Attraction Changed My Life. It's been a while since I listened to that, but it's hosted by Francesca Amber, and she just talks about like how to manifest, and sometimes she talks about crystals because that's a part of manifestation, but a lot of like lists and action. And she has like a book club in which they read some of the most popular self-help books like Atomic Habits. Right now I'm reading The Let Them Theory. She read, I think, The Psychology of Money. She reads all kinds of books, and then in her book club they like talk about them, and then they try to implement those things into their like lives and try to manifest all good things. And so that. I also used to listen to Gut Talk quite a bit. I think it's called Gut Talk. It's hosted by two sisters, Jenna and Jill, I want to say. And they just talk about how to heal your gut. So I'm kind of like all over the board when it comes to podcasts. I'm always looking for good podcasts to listen to, but I will say that sometimes I have a hard time sticking to listening to podcasts. Even lately, I can't even listen to music, and I think I can blame it on the scrolling. Um, because scrolling TikTok, scrolling Instagram, bouncing from app to app has definitely ruined my attention span, as I feel like it has happened to all of us. And and therefore I can't stick to listening to a podcast or an audiobook, and none of my music is hitting anymore the way that it used to. So I honestly haven't been able to put in podcasts as much as I used to. I used to listen to Bad Friends, which is like a comedy podcast. Same thing with Brilliant Idiots. Probably both of those a little bit controversial, but really funny. And they helped so much whenever I started my running journey. I couldn't listen to anything except comedy. Hi, Kayla. Welcome. Where I was just literally talking to myself because you're the only one here right now about podcasts, and what podcasts that I listen to. And you just woke up from a nap, okay, girl? It's like 11 o'clock in Idaho right now. um, but I know. What podcasts have you been listening to? Because lately, or do you listen to podcasts? Are you a podcast girly? She shushed me because it's only 11 o'clock in Idaho right now. It's 1 o'clock in Ohio. Um, so it is still, it's early afternoon. It's early afternoon. All right, I'm going to pop over to see if there's any other questions. Oh, do you have a favorite book? This one is a really fun one right now because I feel like my favorite book is a book that not a lot of people have read. At least I haven't seen it a lot on like Book Talk or anything like that. But my favorite book is Recursion by Blake Crouch. And Blake Crouch is, I just restarted listening to the Throne of Glass audiobook again. Oh my God, you just finished it, girl. You just finished it. You just started it again. I'm like that. I'm like that with TV shows though, because I literally just finished Grey's last year and then restarted it like a couple weeks ago. But my favorite book is Recursion by Blake Crouch. And if anybody hasn't read anything by Blake Crouch, he is like sci-fi meets thriller. And if you want an introduction to him without having to read his books, on Apple TV, there are a couple of his book to, I guess, TV series adaptations. There's Dark Matter, which was the book that made me fall in love with Blake Crouch. And then there's also Pines, but Pines is actually on Hulu. So if you have Hulu and you want to watch Pines, I haven't watched it, and I've only read the first book of Pines. It's a trilogy, but his writing style is so unique. It like really captivates you from the beginning. It keeps your attention the entire book. And I would say that his stories are extremely like unique. And the storyline of Recursion gets really difficult because there's a lot of jumping from the past to the present, and there's like a lot of rules to how it happens, and it's really interesting, but you never feel lost the entire time. And I don't know how he writes like that, because as I tried to explain it, it wouldn't make sense to people, but if you read it, it would make perfect sense. So he just has a really good way of telling his stories, and I highly, highly recommend any book by him. I've read Dark Matter, Pines, Recursion, Upgrade. Upgrade is his most recent, and Upgrade isn't like my favorite, and I wouldn't suggest it as a start into Blake Crouch because it's just really scientific, and if you're not interested in that, you might get lost along the way. Hi, Diamond. She said, I'm a crocheter. What are you knitting right now? I am knitting a shawl. This is a shawl it's like a sample for Rochelle over at Queen's Yarn Boutique. She also has a YouTube channel. So this is kind of how it's looking. And she sent me some yarn because I told her that I would knit a sample for her in her yarn. And the yarn is absolutely lovely, by the way. This is in her Pop Life fingering base and the colorway Latte. It's superwash merino, and it is just lovely. I'm enjoying working with it so much. I truly want to order some yarn from her once I'm finished knitting this up to make something else, because it's just been such a joy to work with. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch was wild. Yes, and even like all the way till the end, like you are not expecting kind of the twist of events all the way through the end. Kayla and Diamond, are you crocheting or knitting on anything right now? What are you guys working on? What are you guys working on? I'm gonna go to another question. This one's interesting. So would you rather explore the world or stay in one country? So you guys let me know also what you think. I don't know if a lot of people on my channel know this about me because I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but I have traveled quite a bit in my younger life. Like when I was 18, I left Ohio and went to France. First, I did a trip of Europe, and then I went to France for a year to do an exchange year. And shortly after that, I moved to Germany. And then I came back to do my undergrad here in Ohio, and I did study abroad in like 4 different countries in Europe throughout that year. And then once I finished undergrad, I left for the Peace Corps in Morocco. And then I was evacuated because of COVID. And then I went back to France for another year and taught English. And then I've been back stateside ever since. And I still have so many dreams of living in Europe, traveling in Europe. Also, I want to go back to Africa, but different parts of Africa this time. Honestly, I just want to go all over the world, but I need to work on my Ria shirt by Kadri, but I'm in the round right now and it's boring. Girl, it's the perfect time to pick it up right now. I love knitting in the round, like especially when I'm just watching a show. Like when you and I did this buddy knit and we like joined in the round, I was just zooming while we were watching Yellow Jackets. I'm working on a crochet pullover tank top skirt bee and beanie. Had 5 things going on, but couldn't help myself. I am absolutely like that. I always have a million whips going on. These are just my 2 active whips. I definitely have like a pair of socks and another sweater and a crochet blanket. I have a lot of other things going on also, but they're just hibernating. Oh, and then that Dale of Norway sweater that will be finished by this winter for me to wear it this winter. I'm not going to probably pick it up for a long time. But yeah, where's the farthest that you guys have traveled to, or where's your dream place to travel? Because my dream place to travel right now, and has been for a long time, is Turkey. I have been wanting to go to Turkey for such a long time. And I would probably do like a whole little like Mediterranean trip, like Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, pretty much that in that area. Lebanon would be cool, but I think there's a little bit of turmoil going on in Lebanon right now. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull another question, unless you guys have any questions to ask. Oh, my dream place to travel to is Paris and Jamaica. Paris is one of my favorite places in the world. It's absolutely stunning. I love Paris so, so much. And I've never been to Jamaica, but I love the Caribbean. One of my favorite places that I've ever traveled to and that I've been to 3 times now is Puerto Rico. So I love a good Caribbean island trip. And I just know Jamaica is probably so, so, so cool. I'm going to see. I actually don't go to karaoke anymore, so I'm not gonna say my favorite karaoke song, even though I am a like sing in the car girl. Like when I'm by myself, I will put on songs and I will like belt them out. And my favorite one over the past couple of days has been "Shallow" by Lady Gaga from what's the movie that she's in? That movie is from, or that song is from. A Star Is Born. Have you guys seen A Star Is Born? I'm a sing all the time girl. I sing, but like I sing when I'm alone. And then sometimes I do like carpool karaoke and I'll like film it, but I just send it to like a couple people just like for fun. But yeah, I do like to sing. I don't think I'm very good at it, but I do like to sing. I'm a sing in the shower girl too, but a lot of singing in the car. I got to keep myself awake. Also, one of the things that I do to keep myself awake whenever I drive like long distances is I put on Hamilton. And are you guys Hamilton fans? Like, do I have any Hamilton fans in right now? Because I don't know if y'all have seen, but Leslie Odom Jr. is coming back for some of the shows, like the original cast for Hamilton on Broadway in New York. And it's my absolute dream to go see it. He's only gonna be, I think it's like from September to November. But like imagine seeing Leslie Odom Jr. perform The Room Where It Happens. Literally a dream. Literally a dream. I'm a retired choir kid, so it's in my blood. Okay. I was not a choir kid. I'm surprised I wasn't, how much I love to sing. The beanie that is working on the that I'm working on is the cobblestone beanie. It's a nice crochet beanie pattern. I've never seen this pattern. And you're a Hamilton fan. Okay, I love that. I'm gonna look up this this beanie pattern so I can see what it looks like. Because I've had a lot of trouble knitting beanies. But if I could crochet one, maybe it would. Wow, it's so pretty. It's pretty and textured. I'm gonna try to hold it up to my camera and see if you guys can see it. Yeah, it's really lovely. I love the colors that the sample's in too. I'm like a steal the sample color kind of person because I hate coming up with my own color palettes. But I was watching, I can't remember who I was watching now, but I was watching someone talk about like spring and summer patterns. And she had mentioned a website that you can use to like create color patterns or color palettes. So like basically it'll just like create color palettes for you until you find one that you like. Or you could be like, create a color palette with orange and then it'll like give you a bunch of different color palettes. And I think that's so cool and so useful for someone like me who literally hates coming up with color palettes. So yep, that's it. That's what I'm making. Doing the cobblestone beanie in royal blue. Oh my gosh, I love royal blue. I've actually come to the realization that I love all colors now. I used to be a really big pink girl, if you can't tell this, and my blanket and my Stanley is pink. But then I knit this sweater and I kind of started to become a purple girl and I started wearing purple more. I started wanting to knit with purple more, but then I put orange on my nails and I was like, wow, orange is so pretty. I also love blue. I think I just love all colors. I don't hate any color. I love them all. So the royal blue is going to be gorgeous. And Kayla, your shirt by Kadri is also, or your vest is also in blue and a really, really pretty, like deep blue. So that's really fun. It's sunny and 62 right now, so I'm sitting outside with a sparkling water and I'm gonna knit. I am jealous. I am absolutely jealous of that because it is really windy and it was raining for a second. But the weather here is just kind of like gloomy, which is why I planned to knit today. I just wanted to stay inside and just enjoy. So you enjoy that sun. You enjoy that sun. Yes, steel blue, steel blue. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And Diamond, where are you, like which state are you in or where are you from? Like if you're from a different country. You don't have to give me like the exact location. We want to keep it safe, but I'm just wondering where you're from. And I'm gonna pull another question. Uh-oh, I left my browser to like look up this hat now. Okay, there we go. Oh, what was your favorite subject in school? I feel like mine is kind of obvious. I was a language girl, so my favorite subject was Spanish until I took French. So it was always my language courses. But before that, I really liked history or English too because I love writing. One thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know about me is I love to write, but I'm not necessarily great at creative writing. I'm really good at persuasive writing. Like I wrote a lot of scholarship essays when I was in school, And that's what allowed me to do all of my traveling during my study abroad year. And I think like one of my professors told me that like I actually had the record for like study abroad scholarships, because it was also around the time that I got into Hamilton, and I would like first of all listen to all of Hamilton while I was writing my scholarship essays, but then like the one where it's like, why do you write like you're running out of time, that one would just like motivate me so much. I would just be like writing away all of my scholarships. So yeah, those are my favorite subjects in school. Definitely not math, which would have been really helpful for all of the knitting that I do. But that's pretty much the only reason that I feel like I need math. I hated math. I really, really hated math. So, what is your favorite season? Which is also an interesting question. So, what's your guys' favorite season? What is everyone's favorite season? Mine very much used to be summer until climate change made summer a little bit unbearable. And now I'm really vibing with spring. And I think it's just because it is the season that brings me out of winter. Like, winter is almost every year the absolute death of me. Like, I cannot overstate how much I hate winter. It's just really awful. So any season with good weather. Yeah. Well, what do you consider good weather though? Because like I consider good weather like 80 and sunny, but 80. It can't be like higher than 80. Spring favorite season because it will be perfect for the tank top and skirt, but also summer. Yeah. Yeah, good weather. Spring and summer. Yep, the tanks and the skirts. Yeah, bring out the nice weather clothes. I tend to I try to dress a little bit more modestly, but anything that has like a flowy fabric, I love that. Like skirts, like long skirts, or just like cotton button downs and stuff like that. Like I'm so ready for that type of weather, for those type of clothes. When was the last time you went to a concert? So I would be interested to hear from you guys, like what concerts you guys go to, because I've actually only been to 3 concerts in my life. There were 3 very big concerts, I will say, or like big artists, I should say. One of them, I guess 2 of them, I guess all of them, like internationally known artists. But the first concert I ever went to was Stromae, and he is Belgian, but he sings in French. And uh, for I don't know if anyone would know his songs. He is international, but like not necessarily like international US, but he sings the song Alors on danse. So it's like Alors on danse. Bum, 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 bum. I feel like people have definitely heard it before. Then my second concert was Drake in 2023. And my most recent concert was Bad Bunny. And I don't know if anybody knows on my channel, but I'm a big, big, huge Bad Bunny fan. So the last concert I went to was Odessa, but that was a few years ago. Did I say that right? Because I might be embarrassed to say I don't know who that is. Odessa. It sounds familiar, but I wouldn't know any of their songs off the top of my head. But it's also concert season. Like spring and summer is concert season. Although the only concert I'm thinking about is Hamilton right now. Not necessarily a concert, it's Broadway, but you know what I mean. So, another question, just gonna look while you guys are answering. Never been to a concert, so won't know what that is. Oh, um, you definitely need to go to see a concert at some point. Even it like doesn't have to be big. I've only been to big concerts, but I think that small concerts are like just a lot more enjoyable whenever there's like not as many people, and you know, you can like kind of feel more connected to the artist. but I'm not like huge into concerts. Like I know a lot of people really love to go to concerts. That's like their thing, that's their jam. It's not my favorite thing. I don't love to be in large crowds in general. I think like what did Coachella like just happen or is about to happen or something? I could never imagine being at Coachella. It's just not for me. But a lot of people love it. A lot of people love the festival life and that's great. I'm super introverted and I feel like a lot of you guys could probably um understand that or like, relate to that being introverted. I feel like that's kind of why we turn to like cozy hobbies that we do at home or by ourselves. All right. Do you have a favorite sport? I would say I played softball growing up and I loved playing it, but my favorite sport to watch is definitely football. But I don't know if I enjoy football like watching it because it's fun to watch or if like there's like vibes, whenever football comes on and the weather gets a little bit cooler and you just like hear the music and you start thinking like pumpkins and uh I don't know, it's just a vibe. Football's a vibe. American football, not soccer. I've really tried to get into soccer and it's just not something that is very interesting to me. So I'm going to say American football is my favorite to watch. My husband makes me watch golf. Sorry, Jake. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Which is funny because my boyfriend mentioned something about like, let's do the lottery for the Masters next year. And I was like, why would we do that? Like, why? First of all, why would I go to Georgia? Like, why would I spend money to go to, I think it's Augusta, Georgia, and not, I don't know, just go to Florida instead and spend that time on the beach? Just be sweaty watching golf. That doesn't sound like something I really want to do. No, thank you. Do you have to write down the things you make and keep track of where you're at in making it, or is it just me? No, girl. I definitely have to write stuff down. Actually, on this project, I have an app that keeps track of the rows that I do. So I have done 2 rows of my increases out of however many that I need to do. And then on my other project, I have it written down somewhere. I'm really bad at keeping track of like Ravelry and stuff. I will say Ravelry is probably like the easiest way to do that. But no, it's not just you. It's not just you. And anytime I'm like doing a project where it takes like not a lot of brain power, that's whenever I like can actually talk. Otherwise, nobody can talk to me whenever I'm like really focused on a project. But this one is easy to keep track of where I'm at right now because I'm doing 1 row of increases, 1 row of just knitting. I will say golf naps it. I need to try that then. Because I haven't been able to nap for a long time, so maybe I just need to put on golf and it'll just put me straight to sleep. Oh, Jake does the raffle every year, and I guess it's hard. I guess it's actually really hard to go. I wonder how they even do that system. I don't know. Maybe Jake and, my boyfriend can go together. And then we can just be in the hotel knitting the whole time, or I don't know what is around Augusta, but there's got to be something interesting there and we can just go and knit. Hmm, let's see. Trying to find another interesting one, but like not one that's like too deep. Like I don't want to do too deep of questions. This one, do you have any hobbies? As if I'm not knitting away right now. Yeah, as long as I have my yarn, I'm happy. Exactly, exactly, as we're talking about hobbies. Do you guys, like, always take a project everywhere you go? Because I am so guilty at taking projects. I take projects to work, and, like, for reference, I'm a bartender, so I don't really have downtime to, like, work on anything, and I know this going into work, and I know this going into my job, yet I still take the project with me. I'm like, well, what if I have a couple seconds? There have been days, usually when, like, the weather is so icy and, like, nobody will show up, where I've been able to pull my project out and do a couple rows, but that's, like, super rare. Yep, take my yarn in the car and everywhere. I take projects to work too, but yeah, but you work at a yarn shop. Like, you could literally knit all day, and it's literally my dream job, and you're living my dream. But yeah, I always have a project somewhere ready to go. Because one thing about me is I hate to be bored. I absolutely hate to be bored. I also, like, I'm that person, like, when I go on a plane, I take a knitting project. I take a journal in case I feel like journaling on the plane. I used to take flashcards when I was really into language learning, and I would take a book. I would have all of those things. I'm like, I will have so many options of things to work on because I refuse to be bored on this plane ride, even though I will probably just end up listening to music and just staring out the window. Because I don't sleep on planes. I can't sleep, and then I can't focus either. I'm just too busy. I have knit on the plane a little bit, like, or crocheted. When I went to Puerto Rico this most recent time, I crocheted an entire bucket hat on my plane, and that was fun. It's actually a lot nicer to take, like, a small project that you could potentially finish on the plane instead of, like, a big project. So, do you have any hobbies? Clearly just knitting, crocheting. I do like to read. Reading has been on the back burner for me for a while. If you are reading, I know we talked about favorite books already, but if you're reading, let me know what you're reading right now. I know Kaylee, you said the Game of Thrones, or not Game of Thrones, Throne of Glass again. um, but yeah, and then I used to really love language learning. I used to sit for hours and watch different shows, listen to different music. I still listen to a lot of music in Spanish and really want to learn Spanish. And I still watch a lot of things in French to keep up with my French, but I don't have anyone to talk to, and I don't, like, actively learn grammar or vocabulary anymore. But that was definitely a hobby of mine. And I'm trying to get into sewing. Oh, you like to paint, Diamond? Kayla loves to paint also. I think you guys would totally connect on that. I am really bad at it, but what kinds of things do you like to paint? I feel like I could never. When I was younger, I tried to draw people all the time, and it was so bad. So I feel like now I would just do, like, landscapes. I would do landscapes. I would be a little Monet. I just think of that, I just watched Titanic recently, and when Rose, like, tells Jack, like, "Oh, you're blushing, like, I don't think Monet would have blushed," and he was like, "Well, he does landscapes." Scenery and animals, yeah, absolutely. That's gorgeous. If you have Instagram, connect with me. I would love to see the stuff that you paint and what you crochet. Let's see. What is the best surprise that you've ever received? I would say definitely, for my birthday, I got tickets to Bad Bunny, and it was a huge surprise. And it was the best surprise because we got to travel to Arizona to do it. So that was a lot of fun. I am not a surprise girl. It's really hard to surprise me because I don't like to be surprised about anything. I do not like things. I'm a bit of a control freak. Anybody will tell you that. I like to know what's going on at all times. Therefore, if someone's trying to plan a surprise, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out because I hate it. Yeah, it's at Michaela's Crafts. Yep. That is my Instagram. I'm so bad about Instagram. I didn't have it for a very long time. Like I had it and then I deleted it. And then once I started my YouTube and wanted to connect with people about fiber arts, I decided to get Instagram again. And I'm not very good at taking pictures for it. So once I get better at that, I promise it'll look better. But I do have it, just mostly so I can connect with you guys outside of YouTube because it's kind of hard to like connect and share pictures and, all that kind of stuff. Like YouTube sometimes feels a little bit one-sided because I'm just making things and then you guys like watch it. But I think Instagram is really nice to connect on like a different level to have conversations and stuff. Not that we can't do that in the comments, but also sometimes you don't want everybody to see what you guys are talking about, what we're all talking about. So that's my Instagram. What about you guys? Are you guys surprised people? Like, do you like to be surprised genuinely? Because like if you like I don't like being surprised scared. I feel like those just go hand in hand. Like absolutely do not like to be scared. So I feel like surprises are the same thing. Mm. Who is your favorite? Depends on the surprise. Yeah. What would be like, okay, but what would you consider a good surprise? I'm, well, I got surprised with pizza last night, so it's okay for me. Okay, I feel like that answered my other question of what's a good surprise. Food is always a welcome surprise. Actually, yeah, I love that. And I love pizza. So, yeah, that actually would be a good surprise. But if it's not food, don't surprise me with it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. What is your guys' favorite food? Like I used to have a favorite food and I'm kind of going through a huge food aversion like time period right now. Like nothing sounds good for breakfast. I don't really like eggs. I don't really like breakfast meats. Nothing sounds good whenever I want to make it. I don't know. A lot of my favorite foods are from places that I used to live in, like around the world, which is like really hard to find here. Um, yeah, I don't really think I even have a favorite food anymore. Like nothing that I would be like, oh my God, I need to have that right now, unless I was traveling. Pizza's a good one. Pizza's a good food, like favorite food of mine, but I don't know. I don't have the same connection to food like I used to. If I were traveling to Germany, I would have a döner, which is like I don't know, like kind of like a euro in a sense, but it's the bread is different and the toppings are a little bit different, but I dream about them every day. If I was in France, I would want tartiflette, which is like potatoes, bacon, caramelized onion, and cheese. It's like one of my I have made it here. And when I was in Canada, I spent $40 on a block of cheese. Or no, I spent 15 because I didn't get the full block, the full circle. I got half of it, which was $15. But I spent $15 so that we could make this dish at home and it ended up burning in the oven. So that was sad. That was really sad. But I love tartiflette. It's like it's actually regional too. When I lived in France, I lived in the Alps region, and the food like the cheese there is called reblochon, which is like one of my favorite cheeses. Again, I'm just biased because I used to live there, and that's the cheese that they put on tartiflette, and you really can't find it in the US. Like, and if you can find it, it's like imported and it's really expensive. And the same thing with Canada, like where I found it. But pasta is always good too. Oh, like a good Italian sub. Pasta's favorite Rasta's pasta. Oh, what's Rasta's pasta? What is Rasta's pasta? Okay, that sounds fancy. That sounds delicious. I do like pasta. I don't know, my body like naturally avoids gluten. but I love pesto, which I feel like is not as big of a thing in the US. Like when you go to like Italian restaurants, I don't feel like pesto is ever really on the menu. I feel like it's always um, like pasta alla vodka or bolognese or I don't know, eggplant parm, chicken parm kind of thing. But I feel like it's rarely pesto, and pesto is one of my favorites. But it's gotta be homemade. It's gotta be homemade and homemade pasta because I'm just bougie like that. I when it comes to food, I am not picky, I would say. Like I eat a lot of things. The only things I really don't like are mushrooms and fish, like any fish. I will definitely like I can eat some things like some seafood if it's fried, some fish if it's fried, but other than that I won't really eat it. And then mushrooms. Other than that, I really love food, but it's not necessarily about being picky. It's like I really care about how food is prepared. So if it's not good, I just like won't eat it. It's not a good trait, but also I just enjoy really good food. It's a Caribbean dish. Okay, but what kind of like what's on it? I need to know. And then I promise, Kayla, we won't talk about food anymore because I'm also hungry. I'm also hungry. My goal was to stream for an hour, so I've got 14 minutes, and I'm gonna go make myself some lunch. And I think I'm gonna make like a bean dish. It's just like a bean, I don't know, just like tomato-based bean dish, and then I'm gonna get some bread and just like scoop it up and eat it. That's sounding pretty good right now. A turkey and pesto panini. Ooh, why does a panini sound good right now? I never eat paninis. Why don't I eat paninis? I also don't really I don't love to eat lunch meat. It's just like not one of my but I think I don't love to eat lunch meat cold. So I think making it into a panini would actually solve that issue. With like some mozzarella? Yeah, I'm thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about that. It's topped with penne, I think it penne noodles and jerk chicken with a creamy sauce. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Do you think I could find that like in Ohio at like a place that has like jerk chicken? Will they have the Rosta's pasta? Because that sounded good. And my stomach is rumbling. So I'm just gonna drink some water. This morning for breakfast, I wasn't feeling like eating anything, so I just had a plate full of fruit. Literally like a banana, half an apple, a few strawberries, and some pineapple. The pineapple in my area right now, 99 cents for a pineapple, which is insanely cheap. Pineapple's in season, so it makes sense why it's cheap, but I try to eat fruit in season when I can. It's not the best pineapple I've ever eaten, which means it's probably like not peak season yet, but it's definitely coming in season. And again, really cheap, 99 cents for a pineapple. Okay, last thing. Sorry, Kayla. I know you want me to stop talking about food. Um, but are you guys like sweet and salty people? I'm like a person who, so we have this dish at work and it's like a chicken rice dish. And I love to put pineapple salsa in it and also yum yum sauce, which like yum yum is kind of naturally sweet, I guess, a little bit. So yeah, I'm a sweet girl. Like if there's anything, add some fruit to it, add some mango to it, add some pineapple to it, and then it'll be delicious. All right, let me find another question so that we can get off of the food. Mm. Oh no, these ones are way too deep. Let's not do that. And these ones are about work. I don't want to talk about work. Well, oh girl, that sounds good. I know. I don't need it. It's fried chicken too. I need to stay away from the fried foods. I need to stay away from the fried foods and the sugar. And yesterday I was filming my vlog and I was like, I'm staying away from sugar. Look at me making Sonic ocean water at home with making Sonic ocean water at home with Sprite Zero, right? I'm like Sprite Zero, less sugar, and I will just use the syrup sparingly and I'll make ocean water at home. And then I went to work and, well, I'm just gonna be frank. It's like that time of the month for me, and I work with women, a lot of women in the restaurant industry. And my boss brought candy, and I was like, "Is it your time of the month?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay, we're just all here together, like spoiling each other with all this candy." And then one of my coworkers brought in cake for us as well. And I was like, wow, thanks for all the sugar, even though my face is breaking out and I don't need it. But it's really nice to like kind of bond over that, the fact that we all need sugar at the same time. You can make the Ross's pasta as homemade, but probably can find it at a Caribbean restaurant. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look up some recipes after this. Maybe that's what I need. I need to just be inspired by food again. Maybe that'll make my appetite come back. I don't know. I went sweet and salty at the same time, all the time. Costco had this popcorn that was caramel cheddar jalapeno. I love the caramel and cheddar blend. Like, when you like buy the popcorn and it's like caramel and cheddar like mixed in there. I love that. That's my absolute favorite type of popcorn. So I feel you. Let me see if I can find any more questions. The other ones were so deep. Like it literally says deep questions to get to know someone better. The first question is, do you ever feel lonely? Like I think this channel is just a little too lighthearted for that kind of question. Let's see. Oh, well, that's all the questions on this page. Let me see if I can find maybe one more, unless you guys have any questions, because this is like a Q&A. I'm kind of just using these as like segues to chit chat with you guys. Ooh, I like this question, but I don't even know if I have an answer. What is something that makes you feel unstoppable? Maybe you guys can tell me because I need some tips, apparently. How do I feel unstoppable? Because you girls needed that. I need a little pick me up. Um, okay, we're just gonna go with this lighthearted question. Do you believe in astrology? Why or why not? Which is so interesting. So I'm a Pisces, and I totally believe in that. I totally believe in it. That's my sun. I'm a Gemini moon. Uh, and and I'm a Scorpio rising. So it's a little bit tough. I'm not like super into astrology or anything. I just know that like your moon rules your emotions, and since Gemini is in my moon, that means that my emotions are quite up and down, which is definitely true. And then being a Pisces, like we're just known for being kind of like the empathetic, wanderers. Like we love to travel and we love to daydream, and I definitely find myself being like that. Tend to be more creative and intuitive, and I definitely believe in that part. And I kind of started playing this game with my coworkers where I would try to guess their zodiac sign, like just based on asking them a couple questions. And one of the funniest experiences I ever had was I had this boss, and I was like, "What's your sign?" He was like, "Guess." I was like, "Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?" And he was like, "I would be invisible." And I was like, "Okay, why would you want to be invisible?" And he said, "So I could rob a bank." I was like, "Oh, you're a Capricorn." And he was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Is your birthday late December, early January?" He's like, "Yeah, it's January, whatever." And I was like, "Yep, you're a Capricorn." Because Capricorns love money. I don't know. It's not a foolproof system, but sometimes I can ask a couple questions and figure out what people's signs are. And I get along really well with like a few signs. Like there are a few signs that keep popping up in my as my friends. Aquariuses are one of them. Libras are one of them. Leos and Virgos. Like definitely those are like the signs that I like definitely uh like attract myself towards. Ooh, a cute outfit. Okay, I need to go shopping. You said retail therapy? Okay, bet. That would make me feel unstoppable. I have been doing a lot more like self-care lately. Like I went and got my eyebrows done, which like I let them grow out for a super long time and then I go get them done because I'm trying. They don't look very thin now because I fill them in, but they do get really uneven. And so once I go get them waxed, like they feel so much better. So self-care in a cute outfit definitely going to make you feel unstoppable. When I get a lot of compliments on the crochet pieces, yes, and people keep saying that you need to sell crochet stuff and when are you selling it? That makes me feel unstoppable. I love that. My sister calls me the crochet queen now. I love that. Yeah, just like, your hobbies that give you a result of something that you're proud of and people complimenting it. I do love that. Honestly, I needed that. I needed that little boost today to, boost my mood. Honestly, the whole live really just boosted my mood. I was so nervous to go live, you guys. I'm gonna have to do it more often. Not just as a result of not having like a video for like an upload for the week, but just in general, like it's fun to catch up. It's fun to just hang out. And I feel like I got a lot of knitting done. I'm gonna finish this row, which is just a complete knit row, and then we'll see where I'm at. I think when I started, I was at like 100 stitches. So basically at this midpoint where my stitch markers are, this was 100 stitches and I need it to be 128. And there's obviously even stitches on each side. So I need to get to 128 stitches on each side. And then we can start the next part, which there's like a border. Actually, I could show you what it's going to look like when it's finished. So net scarf. Yeah, so there's like a little border. I feel like the border shouldn't take me too long. So I'm really close to being done. This is what it's going to look like. So there's like a little eyelet kind of border. Yeah. It's coming out really lovely, actually. So, so, so lovely. And I love the color too that she sent. I don't know how good the color, I say this about every color, but I don't know how good the color would look on me because like I feel like it's too close to my skin tone, but the yarn is fabulous. The yarn is absolutely fabulous. I've loved working with it since I started working with it. Yeah, it's going to be a lovely, lovely scarf. And this hasn't been unenjoyable, but it's just a little monotonous, like the 2-row repeat for so many rows. Like it's not something that I would naturally choose to knit on my own. I have only knit one scarf, but I've knit it 3 times, and that's the Sophie shawl by Petite Knit. I have knit that 3 times because I love it so much. It's like such a mindless knit, but there's like enough increases to keep your mind kind of occupied and not feel like it's too monotonous. And it's also knit and garter. And this one's also knit and garter, which is really nice. Like if there were a lot more like purling and kind of like difficult things that I would have to do every row, that would also be frustrating. So I think this is like a perfect scarf or shawl pattern for like that in between of like, I'm just doing knit stitch, but it's almost kind of like knitting in the round in a sense, which I do love to do, just knit in the round. So yeah, I'm also really excited to get this cardigan working. Every once in a while, like I just take a little break from this one and do the cardigan because I'm really excited. I actually, I think I said it in my podcast episode, but I actually finished the entire yoke of this cardigan that I have sitting over here that I was also possibly going to work on. And then I realized that all of my stitch counts were off. Like all of them were off. So I had to frog the entire yoke and start over, which was not fun. It was not fun. But what do you guys have planned for the rest of the day? Because this is pretty much what my day looks like. I'm going to eat. I'm going to watch more Grey's Anatomy, I think. And also, if you guys have any show recommendations, go ahead and leave that in the comments too, because you already know I'm always looking for a new show to watch. And since I'm recycling Grey's Anatomy right now, I think it's time to find something else. Michaela Nia from the Hobby Habitat told me to watch Pulse, and it's like similar to Grey's Anatomy, she said. So, and that's on Netflix. So I kind of want to give that a try. The new season of, oh my God, we watched the first episode of the new season, and it, it was funny because we were watching it and it was so disturbing that we just like we're like, okay, that's enough of that for now. The first episode. Yeah. Yeah, it was so disturbing. You watched it last night. Yeah. Um, I was like, okay, I think I only need one episode of Black Mirror for right now. And I was so excited for Black Mirror to come out because I'm a huge Black Mirror fan. Like, I've watched all of the episodes, I think, like 3 times. What's your favorite episode of Black Mirror? Because I have a very distinct favorite episode. But yeah, the first episode of the new season like threw me for a loop. And what's weird is like my boyfriend even called what was gonna happen before it happened. And I was like, how did you even because like Black Mirror is kind of hard to do that with. He was like, I already know he's gonna have to do those things. And I was like, how did you know that? But also, without giving too much information about that episode, what is crazy and what's such a reality is the way that they kept trying to upgrade them and that they had no choice but to upgrade. And kind of interesting that it had to do with like the healthcare system also and privatizing healthcare. And it was just really sick. It was really hard to watch and it's really frustrating because like you can see how that kind of stuff does apply in real life too. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. The ads. I know the ads. Crazy. Work, unfortunately. I'm watching Shoresy on Hulu, but it's very niche adult comedy that deals with hockey. Mallory, is that you? How are you? I have not talked to you in so long, girly. How are you? I know that it's you because obviously it's your name, but also because hockey and one of my fond memories of you is just knowing how you were always ice skating and loved ice skating. Oh my gosh, it's so good to hear from you. You're starting your master's this year. That's amazing. What are you studying? If that ever happens in our lifetime, let me die. Girl, same. Girl, same. Yeah, you're just gonna have to let me go at that point. The end was so sad. It was so sad. The whole thing was extremely sad. And I have, again, no better word for it other than disturbing. My favorite stitch for making scarves is the V stitch. Oh, that is a really pretty stitch. And I feel like crocheting scarves would just be so much more enjoyable than knitting scarves. I don't know. I just haven't found a knit scarf pattern that I've thoroughly enjoyed other than the Sophie shawl. And this one is pretty good too. Like this one is really nice. It's really, really wide and the yarn is so squishy, like it's so soft. And I think it being a superwash merino, it would, sorry, I like can't figure out the camera is like inverted, but I think it would like even relax even more. I'm not going to block it. I'm going to send it to Miss Rochelle and just let her decide if she wants to block it. But yeah, so far, so lovely. I still skate. I got new skates. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Business admin just to get a master's. Are you going to the same place where we did our undergrad? Or are you going somewhere different? Yes, I am. Okay, amazing. I actually thought about so since I was a Peace Corps volunteer, they have like Coverdell fellowships and one of the programs is there, but I don't think I can do grad school at the same place I did undergrad. And Ohio is testing me right now. It really is. Plans for this evening is watching Black Panther at dinner time. One of my favorite movies. Like, I saw the second one in the movie theater and absolutely cried so hard. Cried so hard. I don't blame you. I could totally see you going somewhere else for grad school. Yeah. I don't know what that looks like right now. Although online programs do sound really like I would rather do an online program, but Rochelle, hi. Oh no, you just now came. Okay, I was thinking about calling it after an hour, but I could stay a little bit longer. I'm actually working on the sample for you right now. That's what I've been working on this whole time. Let me hold it up appropriately. There we go. Yeah. I've been working on this. I'm almost done and I'm really excited. I've just been singing all the praises to this yarn. I absolutely love it. And oh my gosh, it's coming out so lovely. And I will say, if I had to choose, I wouldn't do fingering again, fingering weight yarn, but I will definitely take I'll definitely have to order some yarn from you that's not fingering. It's just I never knit anything in fingering weight, and, like, honestly, going between so this cardigan is worsted, and knitting with worsted feels so, like, much easier on the hands, but yeah, the yarn is lovely. I've just been talking so much about it. I've enjoyed it so, so much. Don't stay late for me, I'll catch the replay. Okay, I'm probably not gonna stay too much longer, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna call it here. And it was a lot of fun. It was a fun hour. So thanks everyone for joining me. And I hope to see you guys in another video.